The activities to plan, to manage, and to get the deliveries from the plant to the customer site lies in the transportation module. I.e., what we're saying is we're transporting all of the deliveries from the plant to the customer. And within the transportation module, we are using a document called the shipment. So all through the lecture, you will see how the word transportation and the word shipment are used sometimes interchangeably. But just be aware that it's a transportation module and we are using shipment. So you can have one or multiple deliveries that you would assign to a shipment. And each shipment will have at its core a route. Yeah? So a route can take multiple forms. It could actually be just a straight route from A to B. So the shipment moves from location A, goes all the way to location B, unloads everything, and it's done. Yeah, it's a simple process. However, you could then say, if I had two deliveries for two ship tos, I could then say from B, I move to C. Yeah, so that is still the same route A to B to C, for that one shipment for two deliveries. I could also have a shipment that moves from A to B, and I would then say from B, because I have multiple deliveries in that shipment, I actually need to deliver to C, to location D, and to location F. And part of the shipment for B, I might actually have other deliveries that come in at location C, so C mix in with the truck at point B, and we have also a delivery on F. So how would this work? Well, the easiest thing to say or to look at it is I have one vehicle that moves a group of deliveries from A to B. It kind of unloads it at location B, and then we have two other vehicles that deliver delivery C and F, for example, and then we have three separate vehicles, one that goes to C, one that goes to F, one that goes to D. So in this example, we actually, while we have one full shipment, we might actually have two different vehicles on this journey. We could also have a journey where a vehicle moves from A, a shipment moves from A, moves to location B, it then moves on to location C, drops off two ship tos, so it's different locations, go to another location very close to B, let's just say B again, and then the truck finally arrives back at A, and it's kind of a full circle. This also is a route. It's a journey for a type of journey for the shipment. Yeah. So as you can see, there are multiple routes, different ways on how a journey for a particular shipment would take. So the first question before we even look at all of these is, what do people want from using the transportation module in SAP? What do people want to model? And this is quite an important question. The first type of modeling is that we have no shipments in SAP. While physically we have to have shipments in some ways, but in SAP we don't have it. We only have deliveries. And usually we use this model when all of our logistics processes is managed by third party. Yeah, so the third party will be responsible for the planning, the shipping, the vehicles and everything. And we don't really need to care what kind of shipment it is. We don't need to know. As long as we create deliveries, we're fine. The second type is that we have shipments in SAP, and we have shipments only by forwarding agent. So we have, let's say, multiple deliveries, lots and lots of deliveries. We create one shipment by forwarding agent and we forward to them. Yeah, and this is usually, so we group them by forwarding agent, and it's usually we use this in the case where the forwarding agent does all of the planning and the management and we don't really care. So what we do is, let's say for example in our case of Widget Inc., we group everything by parcel that goes to one forwarding agent. We group everything together that goes to the north of the United Kingdom. We create one shipment for one forwarding agent and then we send it to them. That also is a way of modeling shipments. The third type of model that we want to do in SAP is where internally we do all of the planning, and what we would do is we would group the shipments by forwarding agent. We would also group it by route, and we also do it by vehicle. So three combinations: forwarding agent, route, and vehicle. And usually we would do some constraints on the vehicle, for example. So this means that all the planning is done internally, and we usually just order the vehicle, or to make it easy, we order the truck in most cases from a third party. And what we do is we build the shipments internally. We know which trucks or vehicles, for example, to order from the third party, and we physically tell them you need to go to these locations. And it will be up to the third party to plan those routes. So they would look at where we need to go and they say, okay, I need to go from A to B, or A to B, and then from B I need to do a bit more planning to take F and C and D. Yeah, but we internally has already done all of the planning beforehand. Of course, we can always do the A to B to C and then back to A, that also. But what's important to understand is that for the third model, most of the planning is done internally. So to summarize, while physically we will always use shipments, we may or may not plan them in SAP. So we could have a model where we don't do any planning at all. We send everything to a third party who would do everything on our behalf. We could create shipments and group them by forwarding agents or hauliers, send it all to them for them to again do planning and management. And third, we could internally do most of the planning and just order the vehicles from the third party and let them figure out how to get to the destination.